What's going on? This is going to be another quick one, and by quick one I mean it could either be like 2 minutes or 20, but regardless we're going to just call it a quick one because that's what we do here at J McNeil. So this video I'm going to talk about why I'm basically like completely convinced that for 5x5 and up, Yau is better than Yau5, which basically means Kieran from Ireland had the right idea all along, and me saying Yau5's better if he's just fast is just a load of crap. And Yau actually is a better method in theory. So we're going to break this down. Thanks to my good friend James, shouts out to James McDermott over in New Zealand. He basically asked me if I think Yau or Yau5 is better for 5x5 because he's going to switch to one. And then I basically gave my like intellectual rationale for why I think Yau5 is better. And I'm going to go into that now because I think it's good to work off. So, and it obviously helps explain like why I think Yau is better. So for Yau5, for those who don't know, I don't know why you'd be watching this video because you're really going to get nothing out of it. But for those who don't know, Yau5, similar to Yau and 5x5, you know, you do first two centers, 3 cross edges, and then centers plus last cross edge. You can do like however you want. I have my preferences. I do the last cross edge before centers, but I don't care if you do it the other way around. It's really hard to determine on a like theoretical basis which is better. All you can really say is that doing last cross edge before centers is more consistent. That's really the only thing you can say there. But anyways, tidbit. Yeah, this is definitely not going to be a short video. Or quick video, rather. And yeah, you do that, so you got cross plus centers done. And then Yau and Yau5 get different here when you're doing it on 5x5. So with the Yau5, you would free slice your F12 edges, not just any 4 edges. You don't necessarily have to do all 4, but you want to do at least 2 according to the method. After that, you then solve 2 F12 pairs, and the purpose of this is you're basically using moves that you're already going to do anyway, so like it doesn't really matter when you do F12 per se now that the edges are solved. It's just doing them earlier in this fashion sets up last 4 edges to be nice. So when you do 2 F12 pairs, and if they're diagonal, you just do like a 1 move setup to make a pseudo 2x2x3 style X cross. When you have that, you basically have your slots filled in the back, so you no longer have to look on bottom, which is, you know, why we do the cross in Yau. And you also don't have to look in the back, which is why we do those 2 pairs in Yau5. And then from there, you do freaking just whatever you want, slice, flip, slice, freestyle, 3 cycles rather. And then do some parity maybe. And then you just do 3x3 stage with an XX cross skip, which is pretty nice. So the theoretical basis for why I think it's better. I'm not going to explain like the differences between Yau and Yau5 as a method because that already wasted too much time. And like again, if you don't know what Yau is, like, why are you watching this? You're doing nothing for yourself, honestly. But yeah. So the theoretical basis I had for why I think Yau5 is better most of the time. I didn't say all the time because I know there are cases where Yau just turns out to be better. It's not really scramble dependent. It's just like situation dependent within the solve. Why my theoretical basis for Yau5 being better comes down to having to filter for F12 edges. It does take practice and it is hard at first, and I get that it's a very counterintuitive way of filtering. But realistically, like the edges for the LL colors aren't going to be that much better. Like on average, like it's really more or less the same. And you actually have a way to filter which can be better for look ahead, although it is a counterintuitive way to filter. So, and on top of that, again, you don't have to solve all 4 F12 edges, you just need to get at least 2. Ideally, like 3 or 4 most of the time, just to make look ahead better for the 2 pairs. But I mean, there are other workarounds, but this is all kind of getting off topic. Basically, doing the 4 edges with color filtering isn't actually that much slower. It is probably a bit slower than like being completely true neutral. Like, every time it will be slower than true neutral, it's just by how much. Like, I figure a lot of the cases it's like a not a significant difference, although there are cases where it can be. And then the 2 F12 pairs, like again, it's counterintuitive in the sense that, you know, you're not really used to like looking ahead for just 2 pairs and then also looking ahead through that to more edges. Again, it can be practiced, but it's just not something you see with a lot of events, so it is counterintuitive on that level. And then the last 4 edges is better with Yau5 because you have the back slots filled and you don't have to deal with wasting moves doing like... Oh god, my neck is so itchy. I just shaved my neck hairs. So the reason... Yeah, you just don't have to look in the back. And it's not just about look ahead, it's also about the fact that you don't have to waste moves doing like R, U prime, R prime to like take an edge out, or like doing the flip alg, which can happen like quite a number of times with standard Yau last 4 edges on 5x5. So that was more or less my theoretical basis for why I think Yau5 is better. Basically, first 4 edges, you got to filter, and it'll be a bit worse, but ain't no biggie. 2 F12 pairs, counterintuitive, but again, the look ahead can be trained, and when you do the move count math, you know, it doesn't really matter when you solve the F12 pairs, they're all going to mostly take the same amount of moves anyways. And then last 4 edges is a bit better. So that was the whole theoretical basis, because with Yau, you do any 4 edges and it's, you know, all groovy. And then you have to do last 4 edges, and you'll have to like do things like insert edges from the top to kick an edge out. And the thing with solving the 2 F12 pairs is this effectively does like most of that work for you. But with Yau, you might have to do a bit of messing around. Obviously, sometimes it can be nice, but my thoughts were that standard Yau last 4 edges, I don't really know how Kieran does it himself, but I've always found that it's really difficult to like force good cases or force like an efficient last 4 edges in general. Like I feel like if you don't have the 2 edges filling up the slots, it's not even really for look ahead, it's just for the fact that like it just makes things a lot more streamlined in terms of like how you solve your edges. So that's the theoretical basis. And here's the funny part, so here's how the whole theoretical basis got thrown out of the window. And I'm gonna just grab a random 3x3 to demonstrate. R U prime, R2 prime, U prime, R. I repeat, R U prime, R2 U prime, R. Why are these moves important? Well, when you've solved, so let's say the white's, you know, the top, this is where you're pairing your edges across the middle slice, and then here's your cross on yellow. After you do your 4 edges on top, you've got solved edges all across the top. I know, very obvious. I mean, very technical. I mean, sarcasm, I don't know. Anyways, you got your 4 edges on top. R, U prime, R prime, inserts 1 edge here in the front right slot, and then cancelling into R prime, U prime, R, inserts another one in the back. This will always happen, like, no matter, you know, where this is AUF'd. This is just... I think this is, like, pretty standard cube theory that you should be able to understand. So if those 5 moves, my theoretical basis gets thrown out the entire window. It's basically garbage because, like, think how fast you can execute R, U prime, R2, U prime, R. Regardless of efficiency in terms of, like, you know, potentially solving pairs and stuff like that, that 5-move trigger should not take you more than, like, 0.8 if you have like half decent TPS. And that effectively fixes the last 4 edge problem that Yau5 tries to solve by doing 2 F12 pairs. So that changes the entire theoretical like argument on both ends, because when you do Yau with free slice, you know, but then also do the 5-move trigger like that, you basically get all the benefits Yau5 has with none of the downsides aside from being 5 moves less efficient. And it's not just like 5 moves less efficient, it's like 5 moves that can be done in like half a second. So that's pretty much where I'm at with Yau versus Yau5. Like, there would have to be like some really, really big change with the method of Yau5 for me to ever think it's got a chance of being better than Yau. Like, that's where I'm at. And I've been using Yau5 for like 5 years, so there is no like personal bias in this whatsoever. Like, I'm gonna switch because it is just like that obvious to me that it's better. And you know, if you want to use Yau5 and you be your like edgy little snowflake angel, whatever, do that. If you want to use Hoya, you know, even better, you know, edge out. But in terms of like actually discussing methods and their potential, I can see why Kieran's been rising to the top with Yau. I don't know if he personally realized, you know, all the stuff I did. I don't know if he even does the 5-move trigger thing I mentioned. If he doesn't, I think it could make him faster for all I know, which would be really exciting to see, because then the whole Yau versus Redux competition, as it were, would get a little bit more interesting if Kieran could squeeze out a world record or two on his endeavors. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. As for like Yau versus Redux, the theoretical basis, like I think Yau's better. That's just me. I can't prove it because I'm slow. Maybe Kieran can. Thanks for watching.